Cardano's Vasil upgrade has been all over the place lately, and you may be wondering how soon are we going to be there and what are the criteria to get there. And now that we've seen a little bit more progress towards the hard fork on Vasil on the main network and test networks progressing very well, I'm here to share with you exactly what's going on today. First things first, the successful hard fork for the Vasil was done recently on the YOLOnet testnet. Basically, this is a spun up testnet, a more recent one that the SPOs around Cardano wanted to put together, or IOG rather put together for the SPOs to do some further testing with some mixed node versions to ensure when we upgrade on the main network that the same kind of criteria here is being met. Therefore, if it works here, it will work pretty smoothly on the main network. And that was successfully done. 75% of nodes were on the network were running on the latest version on the testnet, and the hard fork was scheduled. And then a new block was minted even on this era shortly ago. So far, so good. But now, what's our progress for the mainnet, right? More testnet progress since we've been seeing it for about 2 months now since the first testnet hard fork, and things are looking better than ever. But right now, when we go to look at the versions of the nodes on the mainnet of Cardano, 51% of the SPOs have chosen to upgrade to the latest version ready for Vasil, which is 1.35.3. Now, we need to get to 75% for the Vasil hard fork to be triggered by IOG, and a few more criteria to mention. Now, in a thread earlier this month, we can see that there's 3 indicators for the Vasil hard fork to be triggered by IOG. First things first, 75% of the main network blocks being created should be by the final Vasil node candidate, which is 1.35.3. Right now, we have 51% of total stake pools accounting for this version, which is good. But we do need to see 75% of the stake pools that are actually making blocks. So likely this isn't a perfect representation of when we reach that threshold, but it shows that we have gotten very close, as a few days ago we were at 14% and we've creeped up to 51% very quickly. So likely over the next few days, we're going to see that first threshold being met. We also have to keep in mind that we are going to need to see roughly 25 exchanges upgraded, representing 80% of liquidity to trigger this as well. Basically, them just upgrading their nodes. This is not a complicated process, technically from the exchange side, just communicating that this is the node candidate and we're ready to rock, basically. And then after that, we also need the mainnet dApps, the key ones, including top 10 by total value locked, supposedly confirming they've upgraded to the latest version on pre-production and on mainnet. This part likely is going to be done in line with the first one, but overall, probably the biggest delay, if any, from here on out will be in the next week. We'll see if these exchanges have been upgraded, if they're ready to go, but likely I think they will because of all the delays that have been happening, or the longer times than expected. And this candidate for Vasil has been out since around August 12th. So it's been many weeks now. Hopefully we do see that upgrade. And once we reach this 75% threshold, we will hear from IOG whether they're ready to give the green light or not. And honestly, I'm expecting that to be within the next week to 2 weeks. I don't think it should take much longer than that. It does depend on the SPOs, including myself, upgrading their nodes, which I have done now. So if you want to stake with the Jack stake pool, we are running on Vasil, and we're running on the Vasil candidate version, and we are ready for Vasil, and we have minted blocks on this version as well. Lastly, though, I want to mention something that is very interesting, not entirely Vasil related, but more Cardano future user experience related. Basically, everyone in Cardano, or in crypto in general, talks about TPS, but here's the thing. Cardano, if you've experienced it before, can get congested. Yes, we have scaling coming, a lot of good things, but the thing is, most of this congestion comes from things being stuck in the mempool. Basically, Typhoon Wallet has put something together here, which I think is worth sharing. Instant transactions and transaction chaining. Basically, a transaction chaining for a long time already has been enabled on a Typhoon wallet, and I didn't even know this, yet I've been using multiple wallets, including Typhoon wallet, on my extensions for quite some time. Basically, how it works is with the power of extended UTXO. Essentially, you can spend funds that are yet to be confirmed on the chain and that are just sitting in the mempool waiting to be included in a block for confirmation. And by using those to be confirmed UTXOs, you can essentially create another transaction. I will leave the link to this thread in the description But basically, right now, if there's any congestion on Cardano without the scaling that we are going to get with Vasil, which is going to be great, but if there's any propagation or delays from getting your transactions on chain, doing it in a way which allows you to access mempool, and say one person uses Typhon wallet and another person does as well, basically share the mempool, the information in there, to allow you to spend your parts of UTXOs that are unspent because they're sitting in the mempool, or because you have left over after the transaction would be processed, allows for a lot of people to get a better experience with their wallets and with their Cardano experience. So I'm all for this. Obviously, there's trade-offs with this, maybe less trust, less security, but all in all, I think this is a very good feature and a really interesting approach from a Typhon wallet. So wanted to share today. That's it for today's video. Vasil is very close to being here. I'm going to dive deeper into Typhon wallet soon with a tutorial video. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your friend Jack. Stay with Jack, stay cool if you enjoyed today's video, or just subscribe to see tomorrow's videos. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.